Yeah, what's good, guys? It's the boy MC Fire.
And Ice Cube.
You know, I just we pulled up right. I said we go Millie Rock on Izzy Block. You gonna say we're gonna Millie Rock on Billy Block? I'm like, bro, it's not poor Billy. We're gonna Millie Rock on Billy Block. You gonna single him out, Billy? Anyway,
Poor Billy.
yeah, guys, poor Billy. We kind of going off the cuff on this one, because really we're just kind of in a really good position right now, and as it stands, we are making a couple changes in our life. Probably going to be moving.
What do you mean, probably?
Well, we are. We are going to be moving.
We are.
To Billy Block. That's where we moving to, right? Just kidding. We're not going to Billy Block. But no, seriously, we are actually upgrading our living situation.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to talk about a little bit about that. Some people have qualms about apartments and housing, right? So we can kind of start there. What are the benefits to renting, and what are the benefits to owning your own spot, your own home? And we'll get into all that jazz. So yeah, let's start.
Okay.
Go ahead, Q.
Well, I think it's better to. Well, the cons about. The pros about renting would be that you don't have to cover all the expenses maintenance-wise and things. Whatever happens, it doesn't have to come out of your pocket.
Right. I've heard it put a very good way that when you're renting, your rent is the max you pay, and when you're owning, your mortgage is the least you pay. Yes.
I just thought about the pigeon. The pigeon.
We got seagulls out here in Seattle, right? To Q, it's a giant pigeon.
Sorry, guys.
And we be Millie rocking all Billy Block.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
Oh,
every day is not a dull moment for us. I just want you guys to know that. And that's kind of the best thing. If you can go on a trip, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret, right? If you guys can go on a 5-hour trip, and it's just you and another person in the car, and you guys can't stand each other, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably not meant to be together forever, all right? But me and Q can get in a car, drive around for hours, and have a grand time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. I think that's what people say when they're like, "Oh, you guys should be friends first, and then whatever's." And I'm like, I don't know. I think you guys should have core values aligned and can be friends. I think that'll work for you. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to the topic at hand.
Sorry.
Well, a whole tangent. Long story short, we at the stage that we're at, we think that renting makes very, very much sense. Even though household wise we're above average, even though that we have edge in the markets, we still even though we built a business and we're looking to grow it, we still believe that living below your means and renting versus owning is a good practice. A good rule of thumb, somebody said, if your rent is like 5% of the purchase price of a house, they say that's a good deal, right? Over 30 years. So if it's below that 5%, you're doing good. If it's above that 5%, go look to rent, right? For me, I believe that we did good, and I want to tell you how good Q did. Really, not me. Like I didn't do anything. I just sit here looking pretty, okay, with my hat, right? Q crushed it. So we were staying in a 1-bedroom, and we're moving to a 2-bedroom. But it's not that much more. It's only like $100, right? Because some people are getting 100. Like they're getting, you see all these videos, people's rents being raised in the same spot they're in, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say Washington is pretty competitive, price-wise?
I would say so.
Yeah, where we're at,
Washington kind of levels up with California. It's like kind of lagging behind a little bit, but because of the scenery that you get here in Washington, they can up the price tenfold. So
Yeah, they can make something shake.
like we can turn our camera around, like, and you can see the beautiful
the view.
water.
Pan for you guys. Yeah, it's gorgeous, right? Sorry, I'm gonna move the camera just for you people. But
Yep.
reality is it's easy on the eyes out here, right? And
It's really pretty.
and to take it all in, you know, that's going to come with a cost. So people can't really jack up the prices where you are relative to the water. California, Washington, Portland, it's all the same. The closer you are to water,
The higher you spend,
the higher you spend.
Mm-hmm.
The good news, though, is that we find a really good deal because some of the other properties, they're comparable, right? They are an attractive offer. So we were essentially able to get another bedroom for another, add on $100. But the
And
kicker
more
is,
space.
yeah. What do you say square footage was? Pretty big.
It says 1,000.
That's pretty good. So for us, it was like, oh, great option.
And it's just two of us. It's not like
two of us.
There's a dog or little people, tiny humans running around.
Yeah, we're dinkles. Okay,
So,
we're dual income, no kids, no liabilities. So that's great, right? And we don't want to forget, we're getting rid of the what?
Storage unit.
Storage unit. We're getting rid of the storage unit. So that's saving a considerable
$200.
Yeah. So we're actually making money getting more.
Yeah.
And I was like,
all for it.
Yeah,
because
that's a win-win-win.
Putting it this way, our rent has increased. Well, we have the renewal letter to stay in our apartments that we're currently in, and it went up about $50. It wasn't that bad. $50-$60.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, maybe this is the time. And we've been talking about moving just because a lot of the activity that's going on in our community now.
We live on Tweakle Road.
A lot of activity that's going on in our community, we're like, we don't really want to have to deal with this.
Right.
MC Fire's truck has been broken into. They tried to steal his truck. So we're like, all right, this is probably time to go.
Right.
And so now we found a place in a better spot.
They tried to jack my truck.
It's nice and quiet. It's yeah. I think it's way better than where we are currently.
Oh yeah, definitely better. And what I noticed too is that your rich journey, like what Ramit Sethi likes to classify, he is, to a degree, I believe, right in some things. One of the things that I think he's right about is you can have a rich life without spending a lot of money, right? You can take pride and a lot of pleasure, I should say, in the small things, like getting a bigger location, but overall costing you less money, building your business, hitting a new milestone in your life or your lifestyle, like working from home. That is what people envision as a rich journey. Their time. Really, your rich journey is anything that can save you a lot of time to spend more time with the people that you care about and accomplish the same thing, right? Now how he classifies that and how he tells people to do to get out of the situations, not necessarily the way that we're going about it, but we believe that no, you can't get fired. You can be in a position to be financially independent at a very young age, but you have to be intentional. You have to not be what's the word? You can't slack off. You can't be lazy. Can't procrastinate, right? One of our previous videos, we said that you have ill. Most of the people are ill. They're either ignorant to the truth, right? There's something they don't know, right? Whether it's whatever, it could be in anything. They're either been lied to, so either they don't know or somebody's been telling them something wrong, either nefariously or maybe they didn't know. So you've been told some incorrect information and you internalized
just ran with it.
or you're lazy. You know the right thing to do, you just choose not to. So most people, especially with the opportunities that are given here and the amount of abundance, most of the people are just ill in their pursuits. They are either ignorant, they've been lied to, or they're lazy. And so if you don't have what you want, you might have to investigate yourself to see if you have one of those illnesses. And if you're ill, and if you do, fix it. Fix it fast. Fix it fast. Because we truly believe that the way we fixed it was getting educated. Getting educated on what the truth is according to the Word of God. Getting educated to financial education and applying it and seeing it work. Seeing how it doesn't work and all the stuff that people push. It might work for them, but you gotta find what works for you, right? That's not your truth. There are certain inalienable understandings that are finances, but you need to figure it out, man. What about you? How'd you know you like, man, this is a right path?
How I know?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know, because once you take a leap, who's to say you won't fall flat on your face? So it's just taking that step, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You have to take the step. You won't know that it's not the right step until you do something about it. If you were sitting on the sideline saying, man, I don't know about that. That don't look like it's the right way to go. And then you sit back on it.
I guess my question is, like, when you saw, like, when you compare, like, information and you look at people's lifestyle, how did you know that that's something, oh, this is something that I can do and this is something that I should avoid?
Oh, well, because people were struggling and they did nothing.
I love it. He's like, people were hurting and they were sitting on their fanny. They didn't go to the doc.
And then people that were doing well, they got up and did something about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be like that. Even when I was younger, I would see people that were affluent, and I was like, man, I want to do that. How do they do that? Oh, there's this thing you can invest your money into, and it'll continue to give you money. I'm like, what is that? I need to know what that is.
Tell me more.
Right. But being in the environment that doesn't know and they just do nothing, you're not going to get that information. So you have to go out and seek it yourself.
Yeah, that's that ill. That's that ill, right? Finding out that information if you're ignorant of the truth. Yeah, what kind of dawned on me was kind of sitting in the very same spot. It was during COVID. Everyone was kind of in lockdown. But I'd left the base, and for me, I had ran an option play to the downside. One was on one was on Boeing. Shout out to Boeing, right? It was puts on Boeing, and it was also like a put on this company that funded malls, right? So what I noticed was if they're going to close down, no one's going to be traveling, and then no one's going to be going to the mall. So funding for malls, it was already in a downtrend. But essentially, long story short, almost $190 ended up turning into like close to $2,000. And it dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute.
Is this legal?
Is it right? I'd stumbled on something that I was like, I truly need to understand why in a pandemic, when everyone is like losing their job and like complaining about things they weren't complaining. Let me take that back. There was really stuff going on. But the feeling that I had was of elation. I was literally like, I have my health, right? All the people that I care about, they are in good health. Some might be sick, but they're recovering. They were already recovering, right? So for myself, I was it was a surreal moment because in a very dark place for everyone, I was like, this is the coolest thing financially that's ever happened to me. Where did they do that at? And I ran with it, man. I didn't look back. So thank you guys for going with us on this journey. And I want you to remember that no matter who's in office, what political, side of the fence you're on, no matter where you are financially, there is a silver lining. There is either a moment in your life when you can look back and say, this is something I can hold on to and grow into, or that moment is probably coming. There's a moment if you're applying yourself in your purpose or craft. Truly.
Yeah. I also wanted to jump in and say something about the housing.
Yeah.
So buying houses rather than renting.
Mhm.
Just because it's not our position where we want to go,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that other people shouldn't buy houses, because you're probably in a point in your life where it's apparent that you buy a house,
Right.
or it'll be the best option for you and your family. So just depending on that, just because we're like, oh, it'll be because we said that it'll be the least amount of money that you'll spend when you're renting, rather than if you were to purchase a house. We see a lot of videos about people with buyer's remorse. They bought a house and they're trying to give it back, and they're like, this is the worst decision. Like, I need to go back to renting. People who are talking about getting a house is the best financial decision, and they're like literally losing their minds.
Yeah.
Also, with houses being appraised every year, where your taxes now go up, increase in value, or is that how it goes? Is it the taxes that they pay go up?
So I'll give you a prime example. Like in Florida, a lot of people went and bought condos, and then there was an accident with the condos. A major condo had some like damages that really came through, and it was a big accident. And they started slapping everybody with the condo with a special assessment. And so anyone who owned a condo got hit with this special assessment from basically the management teams and the HOAs.
Yeah.
And it's causing a lot of heartache. Also with, everyone's happy that their property taxes or their appraisals.
Sorry, guys.
I'm blown up over here. It's crazy. I'm a reporting man. Not really. But essentially, once the property value goes up, people can reassess the area and say, well, okay, you can afford to pay more taxes. Well, not really. I mean, the value of your property went up, but your income didn't necessarily go up. So you're taking a overall hit on your disposable income when things are already kind of tight. So
yeah.
I
wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's great. That's perfect. That's perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah.
So please, really, really do the numbers. We need to do a better job, especially with you guys, giving you guys more materials. These are things that we kind of do on habit. We've developed these habits, so making really advanced spreadsheets is not exactly how we do it. We do the pay ourselves first method, and that's a lot less tracking. And so because we pay ourselves first, our investments, typically our savings, are already taken care of. And because those things are already taken care of, we can breathe a lot easier. We also make it a habit of doing what? Living below our means. We love that. Wow, they are blowing. Jeez. I know. It is wild out here in these Washington streets. There's a group chat. It's Veterans Day. I don't know what's going on. Everybody wants to.
But we thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a wonderful day and that you enjoyed just watching us clown around.
We're goofy, man. We don't care about your feelings.
What?
I care about her feelings.
Oh my god.
It's your boy.
You need to get away from the camera.
Alright. Yeah, it's Ice Cube. He didn't hear that.
Shalom.
Peace.